tiny form of the little blue police box drifted gently through the sprawling and shimmering web of space, its panelled windows pulsing in the dark, almost as if the box were alive. Spinning and spinning, the box aimlessly skimmed the surfaces of reality, passing spatial events that still somehow dwarfed in comparison to the sheer power that was locked away in the old Gallifreyan timeship. Then suddenly, within the blink of an eye, the dirty, tarnished silver hull of an alien spacecraft hurtled past, its engines ablaze, its power almost completely drained, speeding down to the planet below. Inside the TARDIS, the Doctor looked intently at the large circular scanner just as the spacecraft skimmed the exterior of his own timeship, causing the console room to sharply jolt and the time rotor to turn a vicious red. "Watch it," the Doctor said as he ran back towards the six-sided console and began furiously pressing buttons and flicking switches. Over the TARDIS radio, a faint crackly message could be heard. "Hello? Can anyone hear this? This is the pilot of spacecraft designated A20-27, requesting urgent assistance. The engine drive of my ship is blown and I'm injured. I need a doctor. Hello? Can anyone hear this?" Then right back out of the spacecraft's own speaker, the voice of a Time Lord replied, "Well, I'm a doctor. Just probably not the kind you're expecting." The harsh shriek of the spaceship's alarm pierced the air as the pilot replied, "Who the hell are you?" "Like I said, I'm the Doctor and I'm here to help," the Doctor responded. "Can you just tell me your ship?" Look, whoever you are," interjected the pilot. "A doctor, was it? I'm about 20 miles from smashing straight down to that planet down there. So if we're here to help, then help." A splatter from the large engine on the right-hand side of the spacecraft. Sparks began to fly out the dashboard and the pilots shut their eyes as the flimsy metal walls of their spacecraft rattled with the sheer force of atmospheric entry. "Oh yes, sorry about that. Hold on." The Doctor furiously pulled several large mechanical levers on the TARDIS console, causing the ancient timeship's engines to scream in protest. "I've locked my ship onto your ship's entire atomical structure, meaning that I can do this." And with that, the TARDIS dematerialized, taking the spacecraft with her, fading out of the space and into the vortex just a mere second before both crafts would have made contact with the planet's surface. Down on the planet below, nothing moved. No whisper amongst the trees, no little creatures scurried here nor there. It was almost as if the planet itself had been frozen in a single instant in time. Then out of the nothing, the TARDIS materialized, and with it, the large form of the spaceship. The doors of the police box opened. "There we go!" exclaimed the Doctor in triumph as he peered out and around at the small, empty world. A mechanical hiss broke the silence, and the small and slightly charred, inset door opened in the hull of the foreign spaceship, and out of the dark stumbled the dazed form of the pilot. "Thanks, I guess," the pilot said in a shaky voice. "You guess? Huh," scoffed the Doctor. "So who are you anyway?" the Time Lord asked. I'm a soldier," they said. "Well, everyone's a soldier at some point in their life, some way or another," the Doctor said with a wise tone to his voice. "What are you a doctor of then?" spoke the pilot. The Doctor laughed. "Oh, that's just a silly name I came up with for myself." He tailed off mid-sentence, cautioning himself from speaking of secrets long left to the sands of time. After the reckless, although brief, trip through the raw power of the time vortex, the pilots stumbled out of their ship, feeling quite bewildered, and for some inexplicable reason had also been left with rather hazy eyesight. And as their eyes adjusted to the bright light of the planet's triple suns, the pilot saw the young face of the old Doctor. "You're just a kid!" exclaimed the pilot. "Oi! Never judge a book by its cover, thank you, the Doctor hastily retorted. Whatever you say, Doctor. Then suddenly, boom! The pilot's spaceship erupted into a ball of flame. Burning hot shards of metal shrapnel hurled into the air. The force of the explosion flung the Time Lord and the pilot into the sandy ground. A large chunk of the ship's control console whizzed through the air and sliced into the rock right next to the Doctor. He picked it up and his face fell. Standing up with a start, he turned to face the pilot. "Where are you from?" the Doctor demanded. "What?" the pilot replied. "I said, where are you from?" A strong undercurrent of anger seemed to ripple its way into the Doctor's voice, and now the rather affronted pilot replied in a surprisingly flat and monotonous voice. "Skaro." "Knew it," the Doctor muttered under his breath, and just like that he turned and began to walk back to the TARDIS. "Oi! Come back!" the pilot shouted after him, but the Doctor just ignored her. "My ship just blew up!" shouted the Khalid soldier. The Time Lord opened the door to his Gallifreyan vessel, stepped inside and promptly shut the door behind him. Inside the console room, the Doctor sat with his head in his hands as the wheezing groan of the TARDIS filled the chamber. And the little blue box sped away, leaving behind another story in a universe full of stars.